Hello, everybody. Welcome to the bonus episode of the Energy Talk. It's been quite a long time since we had the last one, and here with me on the episode are the two members of the team. Introduce yourself, guys.
Jennifer here. Hi.
Hi, also here.
So it's been quite a long time since we did a bonus episode. You guys have heard my voice quite a lot over the last few months, so I think it's only fair if I shut up a lot during this episode and let Jennifer and Owosa do most of the talking. So we've had quite an eventful couple of months starting our third season. What do you guys think?
Okay, so I just wanted to really say how proud I am of the entire team for starting and completing the Campfire series. I feel it's something we've been looking forward to for a very long time, and then we had a few students, five different groups come up and really share their experiences of making changes in their little communities and universities and societies. So I'm literally just gonna start by saying thank you to every student that spent time educating us on the fantastic work you're doing. I wouldn't really say I had any faves because I think all through was just more of a lot of learning experience. But I think one particular episode that I really enjoyed were the degrees of change folks and how they managed to, I think they never met each other. Those were the teams that never met each other like us. They managed to work across the US and India, and at the same time were able to create this platform that has articles and shares insights on just how we can make the world better through energy and climate activism. So yeah, I think that's all from the Campfire series for me. So thank you everybody that came on. I really look forward to having you and your friends.
No, because I feel like it will be, for people that listen and are like back-to-back listeners and hearts and that are with us, I'd want to say that, you guys are probably tired of hearing me say that I'm all for youth and all of that. So anything that has to do with the gathering of youth, I am like, my hands and my legs are in there. So the Campfire series was a hearty one for me. As Augusta said, I myself also enjoyed every single episode of it, and I hope that everyone that listened, young and old, you picked up something to run, got inspired in some way to do something that you had probably pushed on for a really long while and just felt that you had to kick back in to continue. So for me, I don't even have any faves. Like, I love the one Augusto mentioned, the degrees of change. I also love the reimagining nuclear waste guys, the guys that won the $17K. What's that? The $17K from the
Word, yeah.
Yeah, I think theirs was really good. Like, I pretty much just felt inspired that how people like come together and then whoops, they literally got money in their bags and then they had to like turn that into something more viable for the environment. So, theirs and water for everyone and the rest of that. We literally touched on everything. We touched on nuclear, we touched on information, we touched on water, like whatnot. So this is me saying, if you know someone that has something good they're working on at the moment that needs to be amplified, please reach out to us because there's another one coming up.
Yeah, definitely. I also agree with that, and I also have to give a shout out to Tanmi and Isha from Degrees of Change. They have actually met each other. They took some classes together at University of Illinois in the US when they were doing their undergraduate degrees. So they are a lot luckier than we are in terms of having to all have met each other at one point at least. But I think now we can all share in the solidarity together that everybody has been apart for a very long time. So I hope everybody has been keeping safe. The coronavirus is no joke. I hope everybody is actually keeping safe and doing all the necessary precautions and all that. So we actually started season 3, and we've had 4 great episodes to start with. I'm just going to jump off the gun and just say the first episode was still my favorite to work on. The story about the Mauritius oil spill, although it was a very sad story, and something very similar happened again, quite unfortunately. recently. But yeah, so that episode it took a very long time to record and to edit and to produce, but it was very well worth the time. And for me, from the start of our season 3, that has been one episode that has really really stuck with me even till now.
Yeah, likewise me. I feel like we started on it. In short, I remember that we were pretty much gearing up for season 3, looking at where and what to talk about, where to get information from in terms of what's happening in the world at the moment, and then who to speak to that would literally make up for like the birthday to like start up for season 3. And then boom, this was literally something that was taking the world because come on, we all know where Mauritius is and what they are, what the country is for itself. So that was a really, I mean, it's sad to see what has come of the place at the moment, but then having to like bring awareness to what is happening, and then people even reaching out to me to say, oh, I didn't know this was exactly what happened, or I didn't know this had gotten to this magnitude, or I didn't know this is exactly what is supposed to be done, or this were the underlying reasons as to what must have happened and whatnot. So that's brought a little bit of information to everybody that had questions, and also brought awareness to what is happening in the world at the moment.
Yeah, surely. So, okay, speaking on from the oil spill one, actually, just a little bit of insight because I'll be dropping the nuggets. So, there's actually another oil spill, well, prompting to happen. I really hope it doesn't, in the Caribbean. And it's something that even just listening to Yuvan's episode with us, the boat episode, the 2-part episode, I really think like it's something I believe that we should really have more conversations about, and just really understanding the implications of energy bill disasters. I mean, this is all from nuclear energy, whatever, oil and gas, or even just renewable installations that have gone terribly wrong. I think it was really insightful to just know the detriments of when renewable or sustainable energy goes wrong. I really want to have more conversation about that. But out of the most recent episodes, I think like that's one that really took a fancy, and I look forward to sharing more stories about that.
Yeah. I think this is one of the rare times where we are kind of in agreement about the episodes that really, really stuck out to us. And yeah, so let's enjoy that. As far as like other things we're working on, Jennifer has been recording a new series we haven't really announced yet. Jennifer, can you just like tell them briefly what you'll be working on with the energy story and what exactly the story that's trying to tell?
I think at this point, you should just add youth to my middle name because I'm going to have to mention that again. So for me, what inspires me daily is seeing people that are on the same par with me or even way younger than I am do really amazing stuff in the energy industry, in the energy sector. So I'm speaking to millennials, Gen Zs, like these guys are literally 21, 22, 23, 18, 19, and I'm not saying it's intimidating per se, but I don't know what you do with that energy, but for me, it inspires me. So me having to hear them speak about what must have pushed them to do what they do, the challenges that they go through. One thing that I always say at the end of every episode I've had with each and every one of them is something can be so beautiful, right? And also very challenging. So for me, out of that is how are you able to navigate through those times? I was talking to I don't want to give out so much, but they've literally gone through quite a lot of things, right? Every one of them individually have their stories to tell. And the fact that you see them not even relenting, but using that as a pedestal to push forward, it's something inspirational. And I hope that every single person that listens, which I definitely hope and pray that you all like have access to that, because it's actually going to be a YouTube episode. This is me putting myself in front of the world. I hope I look the part. So I hope I do.
This is actually going to be going up on YouTube sometime very soon, and we're very excited to share that with you. And so something else, I guess we have to go there. No more beating around the bush. Something that we've been working on is a fundraiser. So we've been running this project for a little over a year now, and we're in the stage where we need some resources to help us grow. So we've come a very long way, and we're really grateful to the audience because you've gotten us this far. But right now, we just need to get to the next stage, and well, just to be frank, it's very difficult to do without money. So we've actually been talking about this quite a lot before we started recording this, and we feel like we're in the right stage to do this, and it's something that we are going for very confidently. As you can tell by how I'm talking about it and how Jennifer and also talk about it in a bit, this is the first time we're doing something like this. So, but I think it should be quite obvious as we talk.
I mean, I guess so. Like what they say is you can only do so much with the resources that you have. And then to make a leapfrog, to like jump further, to do way more than your capacity, you need resources to get that done. And unfortunately, we have not had those resources at our disposal, and we are requesting and we are asking that for every one of you that took your time to press record, to listen, to literally stay through like to this point of the episode. Thank you very much. Like your coins it's definitely gonna do a lot for us. Like it's gonna water the grounds which we literally have paper and we're looking to like grow fruit trees on. So we're looking and hoping and praying that as you give, your pocket shall be replenished. So did you give away, please?
Hey, can I get an amen? But yeah, no, thank you, Jennifer. And
I thought I was literally being too cocky about that.
But ultimately, the goal is obviously expand. Okay, Jennifer, we see you. The goal ultimately is to expand and to be able to provide a lot better and more rich content to all our listeners. And like what we started with the Campfire series, I'm really hoping with your support, we're able to obviously create a community out of the Energy Talk. So please donate with the link shared on every platform, or just send us an email or a DM or something. Thank you.
Yeah, that's actually a very good shout also, because the information for our campaign is going to be going up along with this episode. So this is a very big and exciting step for us as a team and as a platform. And we have seen how impactful the stories we've told, and we've seen the kind of voices that we've been able to discover through the platform and the community we've built. And again, it couldn't have been possible without you, the listeners, but we really, really want to do more. And we feel like this is an important next step. So we will be announcing the fundraiser and the goal we're trying to push for, and it's all for a better platform, and we really look forward to getting to that next step. It's something that I am genuinely excited about. I know that Jennifer and Owosa are as well. So look out for more information about that as this episode goes up. And yeah, looking forward to that. And yeah, so before I get too nervous talking about raising money, let's talk about something else. So how have you guys been doing? A lot has been happening. So I mentioned earlier about the COVID not being a joke. So my mom and my sister has actually tested positive earlier in the last like 3 weeks, and fortunately they are back home now with no symptoms. But I just want to use this platform to tell everybody to be careful again, and just take precautions the best that you can. And also, I think maybe Jennifer or also I want to talk about the process that began up in Lagos as well, and all over Nigeria. In fact, we stand very much with the youths as they go about trying to speak out for like much needed change. And I don't know if Jennifer also want to chip in more about this.
Before we even go right into that, you mentioning COVID and you said it's no joke. I mean, I want to ask, like, did you actually think it was no joke before?
Well, it's a different thing when you hear stories about it, but when it comes so close to home and you see the treatment that goes in or the lack of treatment and the isolation centers and all these things and not really knowing if the symptoms will get worse or get better, I think it really changes
Did you have
perspective.
symptoms?
Yeah, they did, and it really got very bad for a while because my mom was at high risk because she has diabetes, so it was very scary for a while. And I feel like everybody really needs to still keep that in mind and try not to be reckless because you never really know, and it's better to be careful. Honestly, it's better to be careful.
Oh well, thankfully everyone is fine and safe and in good health. Over to Nigeria. I mean, the very last time we had a bonus episode, I was in Cyprus. I was in, I was seas and seas away from Nigeria, but lo and behold, I came into Nigeria, and shortly after, I think for anybody that travels and comes back to Nigeria, you definitely have to fall sick. I have like you have to fall sick. That's a commemoration to like welcome back into the land. And then I go into the hospital to get my meds. I get medications and all that. I take the first. I finish like the full dose, and then they come back to tell me that the malaria parasite in me is still high, and I'm like I'm confused. Like I just finished like a full treatment. Why is it still high? And it's like I don't understand. So, but that story for another day. So I came back to Nigeria, Lagos, and then in less than 2 weeks, or I think in less than a month actually, there was literally an uprising. Of which, mind you, so I currently live in the house with my siblings, of which my brother he's in his teens, but yeah, I think he's a little bit under 21 actually. So, but then being that he's just out of school, has no driver's license, has like he just drives the car wherever it is that he's going to, and it kind of gets me a bit worried because I know that he shouldn't be driving the car out, but this is literally like down the road to get like groceries for the house and whatnot. But then you cannot necessarily be sure of what is happening around you, so that on its own gives you some sort of worry. But then seeing it play out where you now know people that have been shot or that have been killed, and then you see things play out in front of you, but then someone is telling you that it's a lie. And then I'm not going to say you have to second guess yourself, but then you just know it's just straight out gaslight that's happening right there. But then there's just nothing they can do about it because the whole system is rigged. So, I mean, I'm using this opportunity to like clamor for better governance, if I do say so myself. I mean, we just have to use every opportunity that we have and to say that we stand together as one, and we pray that the souls that have been lost throughout this process may find their way home and light and we'll definitely keep pushing as long as we're here and hoping things get better.
Wow, Jennifer, I really, do you have an extra seat in congregation? Because I want to step into this church of yours. I'm here for it. But thank you for that little prayer. No, it's we really needed that. Yeah. So just outlet sympathy for the parents and families who've actually lost loved ones in the whole NSAS protests that turned bloody in Nigeria. But from my almost jolly side of events is I'm proud of the way Nigeria has reacted to this. I'm actually proud of the voices that have been raised and the funds that have come about and the seamlessly change that's actually happened. There have been instances when people have, even my mom, we started off this NSAS trying to educate her on what the issue was, and now it's not over yet, but now the momentum is kind of died down, but you can now hear her even sharing her own stories from what she's seen online. So I think that transaction has been really almost inspiring and really just shows what can happen when a group of people come together to demand change or to demand answers. However, we're still waiting for serious answers to what happened at the Lekki massacre in Nigeria. So yeah, that's just something that I just thought was quite inspiring, to just see young people especially come together in the pandemic when everybody's been basically broke all year, to just try and come together, put your heads together, and make a difference. And I really hope that really helps the nation as a whole, because we need it, and more prayers, I guess.
Yeah, we definitely do need it, and young people
Over
making
and
a
out, though.
difference. Yeah, young people making a difference is a message that I think we can all get behind. Honestly, so I don't know. Does anybody have any other thoughts to share?
I feel like let's not even just rest this here. It just goes beyond. I mean, I think the African continent as a whole literally has like pretty much so many underlying issues. I mean, there's the one going on in Congo at the moment, and there's like the thing is, you just cannot log onto any social media handle without seeing these things, right? And then it's like, where exactly is safe? And then it just baffles me because at the end of the day, it's like, where do you then run to? You get like there's an uprising in Congo also. There's deaths there. There's rape going on in Cameroon. I don't know about the other country that has some sort of issue also. So I mean, every one of this, I mean, we are people first of all before we start calling ourselves I'm Nigerian, I'm Cameroonian, I'm American or this. First we identify as humans. So I think that's like the most important part of it, like the fact where we have sympathy for someone else. And as long as someone that is human as you are is going through something that you wouldn't want to go through, I think you should just raise your voice and say something about it.
Yeah, definitely. And also on this note, while we're speaking about this, all the best to our listeners from the US who are preparing for their presidential elections. We won't express any views on that, but please stay safe
Nope.
in the process and just vote. I think that is something that as we see more young people find their voice and be more impactful in their societies, it's very important that you make sure your voice is heard regardless of where you stand on the political spectrum. I think being impactful is something that you really, really have to put it into a priority. So this has probably been a very, very long bonus episode, but you have to forgive us. We haven't done one in months. So do you guys have any closing statements about the last episode we've had, or just anything you'd like to say before we close off for this week?
I loved the episode with Monica and something that she highlighted where she said that they don't necessarily say, oh, I'm all for this, I'm all for that. As long as it's energy, right? Nobody takes a side. Yeah, it's literally we're coming together to make sure that we're going to get a sustainable environment where everybody's catered for, to make sure that at least the world is a better place. Like that was like the most important thing I picked out of everything that literally touched, like out of all the episodes aside from the oil spill. Like that was like the only one that like stood out for me. Aside from the fact that the rest of them were all good, but I just like the fact that she made mention of the fact that, I mean, because we still hear people that say, okay, don't do oil or don't go into that because it doesn't make any sense. But you have to ask yourself, are you sure RE is going to sustain the world going forward? Especially heavy duty sectors like transportation and shipping and heavy duty machines and the rest. So you just have to find a balance and make sure it's all sustainable. So on that note,
Yeah, I really like the episode with Monica as well. I think just even Olu mentioned at the beginning of that episode about how the energy dialogue was almost an inspiration for this. I mean, I see the amount of work they're doing, and the idea of community is what we're trying to push forward in this our ever bonding industry. Yeah, I think that's basically all for me. And a little shout out to Matthew and Amanda on the nuclear side. I think I don't know if it's actually begun. Actually, sorry, the nuclear week. Yeah, I think their story was quite inspiring as well when they mentioned about obviously nuclear being not nuclear should not be energy that people should be afraid of technically, and I think that constant reminder about the safest um, energy options is something that I think we need to have more conversations on. Yeah. That's all for me.
Those are some great thoughts. So if you haven't already, I don't know if there's anybody who listens to the podcast and you haven't checked out the Campfire series, shame on you. You should do that right now. But also, but also check out the last 4 episodes we've had for season 3. They've been all great. We'll see you again next time, and thank you so much for being a fantastic audience. And let's hope the next bonus episode is not 60 months away, and we hope to see you soon. So thank you all for listening. Have a great day, and bye everybody.
Bye, everyone. And don't forget to donate on our link.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Thank you very much.
Oh, yes. Oh, we forgot the plugs. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Energy Talk, or on LinkedIn as well. You can follow us.
And Facebook.
Yeah. Email us everywhere. We would love to hear from you. Stalk us, DM us. We're always here.
This particular scene sounds like that period where you're seeing your friends off. The car is already getting up a message. That is literally what that is what it feels.
You just have to say everything in the last second.
Yeah, just say that word.
As long as it works. Okay, this time for real. Have a great week, everybody. See you next time.
Bye.